All right, guys, it's January, so we're setting some goals, right? Just like every new year, every January 1st, we set some goals. And I don't want to say New Year's resolutions, but we just say, hey, man, by the end of this year, I want to be able to say that I did A, B, C, and D. Every September, if you're in school or going to school or back to school, you do the same thing. Maybe it's a goal that you set because you went to your doctor or your accountant or something, and they said, hey, you're in a bit of a pickle here, and we got to kind of get it squared away, and we're going to set some short-term goals and long-term goals and mid-term goals and all that stuff. And so today we're talking about 5 steps that you could follow to help yourself have a better chance of sticking to the goals that you set for yourself in whatever field of endeavor it might be. Financial, educational, mental, spiritual, religious, relationship, whatever it is. When you set a goal, a lot of times people kind of like fall behind on the goal or forget about the goal because they don't have a really good system or plan to follow. So today I'm going to talk to you about the one that I've been using for a lot of years to help myself. I don't hit all my goals, but I hit a good amount of them. And I've been using it to help other people hit their goals, and they've had a lot of success with it too. So stick around. What's up, warriors? This is Kyoshi, Dave Herman with 5 Elements Tactical Training, here to share with you some warrior skills and drills that anyone can learn and everyone should know. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and thanks for stopping by. If you already follow us on social media and that's how you found your way over to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button and the little thing where it says all notifications, so YouTube will let you know when the next video drops, and you get all sorts of cool content from here as well. So the first time I stepped on the mat to learn martial arts was back in 1982. I've been a black belt since 1993, a full-time instructor since 1994, and a full-time school owner since 1998. In all of those years, I've spent a lot of time not just chasing my martial arts goals, but goals for my dojo and my school and my students. And a lot of the goals were not just for inside the dojo, but in my personal life and my professional life and in every aspect I could think of, because the plan that I followed really helped me in my martial arts training and the things that were kind of ancillary or like in addition to my martial arts training, which you kind of had to have to get to black belt and beyond. Being a martial arts instructor, I network with a lot of other instructors, and they're very like goal-oriented and yes, I can attitude, and they have this very, very powerful, positive mindset, and it's contagious. So I always say my most favorite place, other than being in the woods or at home with my family, is in the dojo, because it's just a lot of positive vibe, you know? And you're surrounded by a lot of people who are working towards goals. And it's not just working like toward your black belt and beyond. It could be like, you know, hey, I want to hit the honor roll in school, or I want to be on the dean's list in college, or I want to get that promotion at work, or I want to get that, you know, I really want to ask that girl out or that guy out or whatever. And having some sort of system that kind of like is your recipe for success, not just in setting the goals, but taking the steps to like kind of hit your goal and then set a new one that's even further along. All right, 5 steps. The first one is know what you want. So no matter what thing I'm trying to teach somebody or coach somebody or help them with, the first thing I ask them is like, well, what do you want to get out of this? And the more specific they could be, the more I could help them create their plan to attack that goal and crush it, right? So when we say know what you want, it's really about the goal. And when you set a goal, it's really important that you set SMART goals. And SMART is an acronym for specific, like I want to get healthy. Well, how do you want to get healthy? Well, I want to get healthy by, I want to be able to lose weight. Well, how much weight? And you know, like specifically, or I want to, you know, get down to a certain pant size, or I want to be able to run a marathon or a half marathon or one of those 5Ks. And I can't run it all right now. So the more specific you could set that thing. The next one is measurable. So something like, yeah, I need to drop X amount of pounds, or I want to be able to lift X amount of weight, or I want to be able to run X amount of miles in X amount of time. That's a very measurable thing. So the more specific the goal, and you got to make sure that it's very measurable also. I've heard as attainable. I've heard it actionable. There's another one. Basically, like, can you do it? Like, you know, I want to be able to run, you know, 100 miles when I can't really run 3 miles. How am I going to run 100? It's attainable, but for where you are, wherever you are in your life, is it possible? That's kind of like the thing, you know? R is for realistic or relevant. Like, again, if I've never run at all, could I set the, like, I want to run 100 miles by next month? That's really not realistic. Is it something like that's relevant to like your path in life? Like, I really always wanted to be an astronaut. there's so much that goes into that. For me, it's not impossible, but I would have to change the course of everything else in my life to even like try and go down that road. And it's not feasible at this point in my life for me to do such a thing. T is for time sensitive or timely or time bound. And it just means that like you have some sort of like, I'd like to get to my yellow belt in 3 months. So that's in my school, like that's a second belt, and that's a very realistic goal. And to set that time on it is pretty good. I heard Elon Musk say something like, if you give yourself like 3 months to clean your room or whatever the project is, it'll take you 3 months. But if you only gave yourself 3 weeks, man, you would double time it and you would kind of make it happen in that 3 weeks. So again, sticking to your SMART goals of specific, measurable, attainable, relevant or realistic, and time bound or time sensitive, it helps you kind of set a very, very like precise thing in your head of what you want to happen in the end. And that's really what knowing what you want comes down to. The second part of this is having a plan and a success coach. So if you were to study martial arts, you know, your success coach is going to be your instructor. Like, hey, Kyoshi, how long is it going to take me to get to my yellow belt, my orange belt, my green belt, my brown belt, my purple, whatever belt. And my job is like, well, how much time can you devote to it? Because I have students that train 2 days a week, and it takes them a little bit longer. I have students that train 3 days a week, and they hit it a little bit faster. And some of the adults are here like every day, and other people are like, how'd that guy get so good so fast? But their path is allowing them to do that. Some of the kids in the dojo, they're involved in a lot of different activities, like they're in Boy Scouts and football and piano lessons and some other thing, and martial arts. So of course their martial arts training goals are going to be a little bit further apart. It's going to take a little bit longer because they're not focused on just this. Whereas some kids are like, well, I don't have any friends and I'm not good at sports and that's why I'm here. And they train more and they practice more at home and they have more time to devote to it. So of course they're going to hit those goals a little bit faster. Having a success coach, whether, hey, I'm not a math guy, I'm not a financial guy, but I have some financial goals. So I kind of do as much research as I can, but then I call my accountant or I call some of my friends who are like pretty wealthy or pretty successful, who've seen a lot of success with some of their investments, and I ask them for their input because they're my success coaches. And they say, well, you know, you have to have this much money to invest in this thing. And I say, oh, I can't do that. They say, well, hold on. Well, this is where I went when I had this much money, and it helped me get to the next level. I'm like, having a success coach, having not just a goal and not just a plan, but having somebody who's, hey, don't just listen to some dude on YouTube telling you what to do. Have somebody who you know, you've seen that they've been successful in that thing, and listen to that guy or that girl because they're the one that, they've been there and done that, and they probably stepped on a landmine or two, and hopefully they'll help you avoid those things as well. Step 3 is take consistent action. So one of my goals every year is to read more. And I find every year I have less and less time. But I try to, again, create realistic goals, and I say, all right, I would like to read 1 book a month. And there are months where I read more than a book, and there's some months where I'm like, oh man, I didn't even get halfway through the book. But what I do is I look at the book that I have next on deck, and if it's got 300 pages, let's say, and there are 30 days in a month, I say, all right, that's 10 pages a day. I can read 10 pages. I scroll through 10 pages of nonsense on my phone while I'm waiting online at the doctor's office or the grocery store or wherever. Having the plan and then taking the consistent action to kind of help you like put the plan to work. We say plan your work, then work your plan. So if you have whatever it is, whether it's, again, family time, I work a lot of jobs, so I don't have a whole lot of time on my hands. So one of the things is I always say I'd like to hang out with my friends more. But if I have the option between hanging out with my friends or hanging out with my family, as much as I love my friends, they get it. They got families too. And if they don't get it, then they're not really my friend, right? So I try to multitask. Hey, buddy, you got kids. I got kids. Let's get together with the wife and kids. And, you try to multitask the best you can to hit as many goals as you can, or at least that's what I do. And again, sometimes I hit them and sometimes I don't. But it comes back to taking consistent action. I find that the more consistent I am with taking steps towards my goal, the more consistent I am with reaching my goals. Remember that the smallest step in the right direction is still a step in the right direction, right? So, hey, I wanted to read 10 pages today, but I only read 5. I wanted to go walk or jog 3 miles today, but it was -5 degrees with the wind chill. So I made 1 mile, and I came home and had to jog in place or did some jumping jacks. Or I kind of did some of the thing that maybe it wasn't the exact prescribed thing or step that I was going to take towards my goal that day, but I did something instead. A little bit of something is better than a lot of nothing. And I've done lots of nothing in my life, and I was never happy that I did it. Whereas plenty of times I did a little something, and I was always kind of glad that I did it. Step 4, review your progress. So I live in New York, and I was going to hop in the car with my family to drive down to Florida. That's like a 18, 19, 20-hour drive, depending on how far into Florida I want to go. Now, I wouldn't wait till I drove 18 hours to realize that I hit like Canada. You know, a week or two into your progress, hey, check where you're going. Check your stats. Like, hey, how much of that book did I read? How many miles have I jogged? How many pounds have I lost? How many inches have I lost? How many more push-ups or whatever exercise can I do? Hey, it's been 2 or 3 weeks. How much time have I spent with my family? Have I done any steps to like get to the dean's list in college or the honor roll in school, or you know, whatever that thing is? Remember, you have whatever your goal in your head is. Are you taking steps toward it? And if you wait 1 week and you say, oh man, I didn't do anything, don't let it turn into 2 weeks. Get on it. That's why you review your progress regularly. Step 5, renew your goals. So just about a year ago, I started this channel, and my goal was in 1 year to get to 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours, because like in my head was like, I heard that people were making money with YouTube. Like, to me, I still don't totally understand it, but those were the 2 key things I needed. And I said, well, I'll give it a year, and if I can make it happen in a year, cool. If not, well, I guess we'll revisit what the goal is at that time. And 8 months in, I hit over 1,000 subscribers and over 4,000 watch hours, and I was able to monetize the channel. So I wasn't like, all right, cool, I'm done, and then left it alone. All of a sudden, there was like so many of you guys out there watching and commenting. I was like, wow, this is cool. So what I did was I renewed my goal. I said, well, all right, it's August. I hit 1,000. I'm going to see if I could hit like, I think I hit like 3,000, because a bunch of guys, all you guys that came over from Corporal's Corner, if you've never checked out Corporal's Corner, he's one of my survival instructors at the Pathfinder School out in Ohio. He gave me a shout out. He's pushing almost 1 million subscribers because his channel just rocks. If you've never checked it out, go check it out. But he gave me a shout out, so I went from like 1,000 to like, I don't know, 3,500 or something like that. And I was like, man, if I get 3,500, I set the goal for 5,000. So, you know, I was getting closer to Christmas. It was like October-ish, and we had a video that just like exploded. I don't know if it was the algorithm or YouTube or for whatever reason. Great Depression grocery list, and it got like 80,000 views and 4,000 subs, and then I was at like 9,000 subs, and it was like October, November. So I'm like, oh my God, I got a month or so left. Maybe I could hit 10,000, and it didn't happen. But being able to like renew a goal, hit that goal, and renew another goal. Now hold on, I've also set plenty of goals where I didn't hit it, or I didn't come anywhere close to it. But when I look at how far I came from where I was when I started, even though maybe I didn't hit my goal, maybe it wasn't realistic enough, or my plan wasn't effective enough, even though I didn't hit my goal, I was still way further ahead than I was when I first started. So if you ask me, if you could hit your goal, don't let that be like, all right, I'm done. You want to always have something like, well, as I'm getting closer to this goal, what's the next one? And in my life, I've had a lot of friends say to me, it seems like you always get what you want, and I don't feel like that at all. Again, because I compare myself to guys who are way ahead of me in whatever field of endeavor. Like I look at martial arts buddies that I've been trying to catch up to them for almost 40 years. You know, my survival school instructors, my God, they're so masterful at everything they do, and my students think I'm like the greatest thing, you know, ever, but when I go to school so I can get better, I feel the same way about my instructors, and it's important that you surround yourself with people that are better than you. We always say if you're the best one in the room, you're in the wrong room. All right, so quick review. The 5 steps to setting successful goals and crushing them is 1, know what you want, and remember to use SMART goals. So part of number 1 is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-sensitive goals. 2 is have a plan and a success coach. 3, take consistent action. 4, review your progress regularly. And 5, renew your goals. Whether you hit it or not, if you get to the end of your time frame, I hit it, cool, set a bigger, better goal. I didn't get there, well, as part of reviewing your progress, renew your goals. Maybe I need a little bit more time, or maybe I need to like set a little bit of a lower goal. And the idea being that, again, taking consistent action, surrounding yourself by like positive, healthy, like focused, determined, motivated people, it becomes very contagious. So if you're hanging out with a bunch of people who are kind of anchors and they're dragging you down, maybe that's not the kind of company you want to keep. Or maybe you want to like spend a little bit less time there and a little bit more time with people that are kind of on the same path as you and working towards the same type of goals or the same type of success that you are, because it really, really works wonders. So that being said, if you made it this far and you like what I'm teaching and preaching, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and like this video. If you're loving it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you gotta have it, make sure you hit the bell notification button and the little thing where it says all notifications. If you're really digging it and you want more, you can find me on all social media platforms, especially Facebook and Instagram at 5 Elements Tactical. That's all I got for now, warriors. So until our paths cross again, pray for the best, prepare for the rest. I'm Kyoshi Dave Herman with 5 Elements Tactical Training. Thanks for watching.